Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup I made you buy that you love. So I love getting you guys involved in these kinds of videos where I basically test out your favorites, test out products you don't like, drugstore, high-end, a little bit of everything. One of you guys actually gave me the idea to do this video and I thought what a fun idea because so many of you guys are always sending me tweets and DMs and letting me know that you go out and actually purchase things that I recommend and you end up loving them, and that literally makes me so happy. First of all, the fact that you guys even watch my videos makes me very genuinely happy. So you can imagine how happy I am that so many of you guys actually trust me and my recommendations and you go out and purchase things that I talk about. So overall, it's a very humbling experience, and I always say I'll never steer you guys in the wrong direction when it comes to makeup or anything that I recommend, but I know everything's gonna work differently for everybody. There's always gonna be some hits and misses, but I'm happy that the majority of you guys do like most of the products that I do recommend. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you grab a snack and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and let's get into a full face of makeup I made you buy. All right guys, so we are starting off with eyes. So some of the most popular eyeshadows that you guys loved that I recommended were ColourPop, Profusion, and the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This is my favorite palette, so when I saw this I was like, okay, I'm really happy right now. This is literally my favorite high-end palette. Ever since it came out, this is the same palette that I've had. I've done so many looks with it. It's so good. I love the colors. I love the formula. It's amazing. I think today I want to do something really brown and smoky, so I'm going to start off with the color right here called Riff, and I'm going to apply that as my transition shade. All of these colors just blend so seamlessly. I love it. Then one of my favorite colors in the palette is called Punk. This is like a really pretty like reddish tone brown, and it's matte. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna start kind of applying that on the outer corners a little bit. I'm just starting with a little bit of product at a time because this color is very pigmented. I'm also going to take that color on the lid as well and just really build it up. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of that transition color and just blend out the edges of everything. Now we do the same thing on the other eye. That's always like the tricky part, like making everything look even. Then let's take a little bit of the color Smog. This matches my shirt perfectly. I love it. So I'm gonna take Smog, which this is a classic color. This used to be in the Naked palette, the original, which they no longer sell anymore, which makes me so sad. I'm pretty sure that was the first high-end palette that I ever purchased and that a lot of us purchased. That was like the OG YouTube palette. But anyways, I'm gonna take Smog, and I think I'm gonna take a little bit of the color Double Life as well and just mix those two shades. So Double Life and Smog. Spray the brush, always. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the brown. I don't want to lose that color. So I'm gonna make this really smoky, and I'm of course gonna use my e.l.f. eye tapes, which a couple of you guys mentioned that you love. I love these, especially I used to use them more for winged liner, but I don't do my winged liner as much as I used to. I definitely do it for certain videos, but I definitely prefer like a smoky kind of shadow look over winged liner, and that's when these come into play, and they're truly like the best. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more blending, and I'm gonna add some black. So then I'm gonna go into the color Jet, which you can see I hit pan on. That is like so satisfying. I love it. And I'm gonna apply it as if it was like actual like liner and do like a little wing with it. If you've never tried this and you watch my videos, what are you doing? You need to. But seriously, I love doing this instead of winged liner. I feel like it's like really soft and sultry, and I do it like whether I'm wearing a ton of eyeshadow or not because I just love the look of it. And then you just wipe away the fallout a little bit, and then you remove the eye tapes. Bam. Every single time you get just like a perfect edge. For mascara, the Essence Lash Princess was by far the most popular mascara. It's really lengthening, and I love this formula of mascara. So I'm really glad that a lot of you guys love Essence mascaras as well. They're not all great. I will say I've tried some duds, but Lash Princess is like a classic. I'm debating what lashes I'm gonna use. A lot of you guys love Kiss and Salon Perfect. Those were like the two most popular lash brands. So like I mentioned, Kiss and Salon Perfect were definitely the most popular lashes. So for today's look, since we have a little bit of like a cat eye going on, I'm gonna use one of my favorite pairs of lashes that I love for these kinds of look. And these are actually in the wrong packaging, but I'll put a picture of them right here. They are the Kiss Max Out lashes in the style Love. Hopefully they're still available, but in general, Kiss has really great lashes, so many different styles. But just to show you what these look like, you see how they kind of like, okay, they're not on right, but they kind of like elongate the eyes and make them look really big. You can always trim these as well. I always recommend trimming from the outer corner versus the inner corners, but yeah, these are really good. And my Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. I was actually really surprised that so many of you guys use this and love this lash glue. I mean, it's really good. It's so affordable. I've been using it for years. Okay, so while we wait for the lash glue to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the skin for foundation. So this is actually a newer favorite that I discovered from e.l.f. like towards, I wanna say the end of 2020, and it's basically like a primer oil but in a spray bottle. It's so good, but it's a little bit less lightweight also than a primer oil, so I feel like from day to day, if you want to like prep your skin with it, it's not going to be overwhelmingly heavy. But I really like this, and a couple of you guys actually love it as well, so I was like, yay. It smells nice too. It's really good. And the two most popular primers that you guys love based on my recommendations, Smashbox Primerizer. This is a holy grail. I love this because it's like a primer and a moisturizer. So if you have dry skin or normal skin, or if you just want a little extra hydration, this is perfect before makeup. And I like the fact that this works with literally all of my foundations. I never have any issues with it. It's the best. And then the Hard Candy Hydrating Grip Primer. This is truly the best dupe that I have ever found. Like honestly, it's a spot on dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydra Grip Primer, which I actually really like that primer, but this one I always say it's a little bit more hydrating, and I feel like you get the same exact effect. Your makeup's gonna last all day, and it's literally so good for the price. For today though, I'm gonna use this Smashbox Primerizer just because this is just a classic for me. So I'm gonna just do about 3-4 pumps. I do a lot of this because it just feels so nice on the skin. I think the lashes might be done, so I'm gonna pop these on. Okay, so now for foundation, this was the most popular product out of like everything. This was like the most like repeated product that you guys love. So this is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I have mine in the shade Medium Olive. I cannot tell you guys how excited I was when I saw this. Like so many of you guys love this foundation, and this is, I literally only have a little bit left. I mean, you can't tell, but this is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. It's long wearing, it's glowy, it's pretty, it's not greasy, it lasts all day. The coverage is great. Like it really is a naturally radiant foundation, just like it says on here. So I love this. Yeah, this is bomb. So I am just gonna apply this and then use my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, which was another very popular tool that you guys love. I feel like e.l.f. in general was a very popular brand. A lot of you guys said like, I started building my e.l.f. collection because of you, and I was like, that's amazing. So yeah, this is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. It's the best drugstore sponge, like beauty blender. You don't need it. It's so good. I feel like nowadays we all know that there's so many great beauty blender dupes. This is definitely not like an exact identical replica of the beauty blender, like the size, the shape, everything, but this one's actually better. It's a little bit bigger, and I like how it's angled, so. For concealer, this was probably the second, well, next to the powder, this is probably another very popular product. I mean, of course, everything was very popular, but this was also very popular, e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. This is like all that I use nowadays, you guys. It is so beautiful. It's so creamy. It's so hydrating. I'm in the shade Medium Peach. You know, with this, I use a lot, I know. But I do use the rest of the product that I have on the sponge to highlight the rest of my face as well. I actually don't really use the original camo concealer. Really, I love the hydrating one so much because it is more hydrating. It's a little bit, not actually the formula is the same, but this one's just much more hydrating for my under eyes, so that's why I love it. And I feel like I can use a lot of this concealer without it feeling or looking dry under the eyes, whereas the camo, it's intense. And I feel like my under eyes are a little bit too dry for it these days, but it is really good and definitely a good Tarte Shape Tape dupe. For cream bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Fenty one. So the combo that a lot of you guys really liked that you mentioned is the Fenty cream bronzer with the Fenty powdered bronzer. And then also a lot of you guys love the Milani Silky Matte bronzer, which I'm also obsessed with. Such a good drugstore bronzer. They're both, I feel like, very great formula, but the Fenty one does have more shades. So I'm gonna go in with the cream bronzer first. I have mine in 03 Macchiato. I'm gonna use my handy dandy 125 face brush. And I'm gonna do a little cream bronzer. Look at that color. It just makes you look so sun-kissed. Now for powder, I have to say the Collab and the Halo Glow setting powder, along with the Hailey's Beauty Loose setting powder. The three powders were all like neck and neck. Like, I want to say I had probably about the same amount of you guys loving all three of these powders. I went with the Collab one just because I feel like I don't show as much love to this powder as I used to, because the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder and the Hailey's one are the ones that I feel like I alternate the most on camera and off camera. But I love this powder as well. It is so beautiful. It's a very natural powder. It doesn't have like a glow, or it's not matte. It's a great setting powder for your under eyes, for all over the face. I really like it. I'm in the shade Porcelain Ivory. You can get this at Sally's Beauty. So I'm gonna use a brush. It's very soft under the eyes, and this one also doesn't have a white cast. I love it. It's a really pretty natural powder. That is always so satisfying, like applying powder to the forehead. I feel like my forehead always looks also like really oily and super shiny, but it's mostly because of the lights like shining right on my forehead, so I feel like it always makes it look shinier than what it actually is. So I like to just take a smaller brush to really concentrate the powder in those specific areas, and then I'll take that same powder with a fluffy brush and kind of just go over the rest of my face. I'm gonna set my brows with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. This and the e.l.f. Brow Wow was very, very popular. So I like this one currently more than the e.l.f. one just because the shade is better. I have this one in the shade black. The one that I have in the e.l.f. one is brunette. The shade black is always sold out every time I go on their website. So I'm just using this one today just to set the brows. All right, let's set the cream bronzer. I'm gonna use my Fenty Shady Biz bronzer, of course. This is the year that I'll be getting a new one. Finally, still using the same one from when this first came out. I could not think of a more perfect blush. When I saw this, I was like, yes, Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon. This is like a classic blush for me that I feel like looks good with like any look. It's a great like everyday blush color. It's like this toasted cinnamon shade. It's like a bronzy kind of color. It's so beautiful. I love it. I've actually been using these for a couple years at this point. I don't remember when it came out, but I feel like I was still in college when Toasted Cinnamon came out, but I love it. These are my tones, like the bronzy, peachy kind of tones. I feel like it goes well with this look too. And then for highlighter, I was actually really surprised that so many of you guys love this highlighter, because I feel like a lot of people still love like that really intense blinding glow, and this is so natural. And I used to be one of those people that was like highlighter obsessed, but now I don't use as much highlighter as I used to. Some days I use more than others, but for like day-to-day makeup, I still love my Essence Pure Nude highlighter, and the fact that so many of you guys still use this to this day makes me really happy. It's a great everyday highlighter. It just gives you like that kind of inner glow from within. It's everything, and this one's in the shade number 10, Be My Highlight. It's very, very light, but that's why I like it, because it doesn't have any glitter in it. It just gives you like the softest, prettiest glow. I have another popular option for you guys though who don't like a soft glow and you want something a little bit more intense. I got you. And then if you want something a little bit more intense, this was another really popular highlighter. It's the Kokie Soft Glow highlighter. Mine's like all rubbed away, but this is a beautiful and a really great Stila Heavenly Hue highlighter dupe. So the color and the formula is like almost identical to the one from Stila, but I really like this because it's kind of like, it feels like a cream or like a cushiony kind of highlighter, but when you build it up, it's actually really intense and very beautiful on the skin. It gives you like that wet look. So this is a really great drugstore highlighter option, and this one is in the shade Heavenly. Since we're talking about highlighter, let's talk about the LA Colors Shine Bright highlighter. This is like my drugstore hidden gem that is literally $1, you guys, but it is the most intense, beautiful highlighter. I love this for the face, but I especially love it for the inner corners of my eyes. So what I like to do is I just take like a really tiny little fluffy brush, dip my brush in, spray my brush. This is the one highlighter on my face, well, it's on my eyes, that I do like to be really intense. And I just pop that right in there. Do you see that? It's like, this is $1. Like, it's beautiful. I love this highlighter. And they have other colors as well, and it's, like I said, from Dollar Tree. It's only $1. Okay, now for the inner corners, I'm actually gonna use this color, Good As Gone, and then Punk, and just smudge that on the lower lash line. Really smudging this out, making it really smoky because I really want this look to be like super smoky. But I love these browns, and I love doing this too because I have like the worst under eye lines ever, so I feel like it kind of a little bit helps to conceal. I am like really thinking about doing under eye filler, but I don't know. I'm so nervous like to do anything to my face. That would be the only thing that I would ever get done. Like I wouldn't get lip injections or anything like that, but I've always been like self-conscious about like my under eyes. I'm debating, but I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys have under eye filler. What are your experiences? What are your thoughts? And then for the waterline, I'm gonna go in with, of course, my ColourPop BFF Cream Gel Liners. The thing with these are, and so many of you guys also mentioned them, is that they're really good, but they're always sold out, a lot of like the really common colors. So that's the only thing. So you really have to get these like while you can, because they're literally always sold out. So if they're ever in stock, get them while you can because they never last. So I have this color here. It's like a beautiful brown. This one is Woodsy from the Raw Beauty Kristi collab. It's just like a brown, but I love brown liner on the waterline. I think it's so pretty, and it's a little less harsh than black. So I don't know, I think it complements the eyes really well. I love a good brown liner. These are so creamy. And I'm just gonna do some lower lash mascara. Okay, now for lip liners. So many of you guys love NYX lip liners, and it's funny because a couple of you guys also mentioned the same thing where you said that you tried them and you didn't think you were gonna love them as much as you do, and all I have to say is, I told you. I love all NYX lip pencils, but today I'm gonna use the Suede matte lip pencils. I mean, but their retractable ones are really good. Their glide on pencils are really good. Their slim lip pencils, I feel like all of them are amazing. Love all the colors, everything. So today I'm gonna use the color London. I feel like that goes really well with what I got going on today. Let me just sharpen this. I love how the majority of the stuff that you guys told me that you love, it's like mostly all drugstore. I love that. I'm also gonna fill in my lips with this as well. I love this color because it's like a warm nude. And then I'm just gonna keep it simple, and I'm gonna go in with the Essence Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss. This one's in the color Behind the Scenes, which is just the clear one, but mine is not clear because I use it all the time with all of my favorite nudes. But this is the best, hands down, the best formula, the best scent, the best everything. When it comes to a clear lip gloss, you do not need any other one if you get this one. I'm telling you, it is that good. And you guys agree. So it makes your lips look so juicy, but like, it's not sticky. I know that there's so many different brands with clear lip glosses, but I'm telling you, they're not this good. And you know what? Even if they are that good, they're not this affordable. This is $3 at Ulta. So chef's kiss, this is my kind of look. I know it's another neutral look, but this is me, you know? This is who I am. You guys love the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is my favorite setting spray. This actually does work, and a lot of you guys actually mentioned that, like even with a mask and everything, like it really keeps your makeup in place all day. I just have the extra large bottle here. You can actually get this. I don't know if Ulta has it, but I got this at Super Walmart. It really does make your makeup last. So that officially completes this full face featuring makeup I made, you purchased, that you love. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all of your responses, and thank you for not only your support for watching my videos, but for real, thank you guys for taking my recommendations into consideration when you are shopping for new products. I really, really appreciate you. You guys are truly the best. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!